the LMP3 title race, Kurikos Nielsen and RLR M Sports chase reigning champions DKR Engineering. The gap between them has increased after Road to Le Mans. The championship leaders are now 29.5 points ahead of even their closest rival. Leonard Hoogenboom competes in an endurance racing series for the very first time this season. Teamed with Jens Petersen in DKR Engineering's LMP3 Norma, the Dutchman won the first 2 races of the season, and he's still only 18.
For me it's really nice to also that you're the youngest guy, and you can also learn also from the other guys when they have also a lot of experience and all the things. And you can learn also from your teammates, and also from Jens. He had also a lot of experience, and he's also a fast driver. That's also really important. First race in Michelin in France went really good. The last lap, Jens had a small spin, but he was lucky that the gap was a little big enough. We won there, and then the second race in Monza, we finished at P1 also. Really happy with that. And then new circuit. Road to Le Mans. I also never been there. Jens, he was been there a couple of years ago. There was a red flag, and then we finished first qualifying P18. Jens did the start, and then I pushed to the maximum, and then we drove to P3, and that was really nice also to finish on the podium, first time on the circuit in Le Mans. Really good experience. I really like also the track, and the speed was also there, so it was really good. And this is a close car. But for me it's a really good car, a lot of grip, also a lot of power, and for me the car is really good to drive and also nice and fast. Yeah, when you can drive LMP1 is also really nice to do, but now we first focus on the LMP3 this season, and then maybe we can do next year some other higher categories in the LMP cars, or it's really nice to do that also then. Enjoy the race.
Gentlemen, we have started the race behind the safety car. It will be at least 2 laps behind the safety car. Please ensure your cars have all the lights on.
Tricky conditions here for the start of the Red Bull Ring. Race director Eduardo Freitas making sure everybody gets to feel what the track is like. It is very wet, lots of spray. So here we go then, we are about to go green. Fabien Laverne leading across the line for CD Sport from the championship leader Jens Petersen. Somewhere in the gloom, Adrian Keeler, the red, white and blue of Graf, is third, and everybody else struggling to see where the corner is through the spray. Jens Petersen being attacked here for second place. This is Graf Racing's Adrian Keeler. Keeler up the inside into the hairpin, and through he goes, takes that spot away pretty easily. There's the Graf Racing crew, always ready to leap into action should the car come in with some emergency. Battle for third place now, Alistair McCaig, and he is going to move up the inside of Jens Petersen as well. Petersen taking it very cautiously in these slippery conditions in the number 3 DKR Engineering car. The championship leader now down to third, and more trouble behind. And the trouble behind comes from Johan Boris Shire. The N-Race car goes through for 4th place. Jens Petersen is struggling. He was second, he's now down to 5th place. Here's the battle for 5th. Alex Kapadia, RLR M Sport, attacking Jens Petersen, and he goes through at the inside of the hairpin. Basically stops Petersen in his tracks, through he goes. Jens Petersen in the number 3 DKR Engineering car still struggling for pace. This is Michael Benham, Lannon Racing's number 25 on the inside. He goes through for 6th position, and there are 2 more hunters astern. Well, if DKR have gone for a full dry setup, maybe that is part of the reason, but the track is drying. It could come back to them. John Ferrano up into 7th. Jens Petersen down into 8th place. Pit window is open. Jens Petersen being chased by Jacques Wolf in DB Autosport, and both of them heading into the pits. Petersen going in at the first possible opportunity. Yellow flags up to the turn 2 hairpin. This could be a well-timed stop for DKR. There are the points leaders. Loads of pit stops now under this full course yellow. If you miss this window, you could be in real trouble. Number 3 DKR comes out, 25 Lemans Racing ahead of the 21 DB Autosport car. We're midway through the race, N-Race ahead of the 79 Acuria Cost car, 40 from Graf Racing in 3rd, ahead of the DKR Engineering number 3 car. Here's the 4th place car, our championship leaders, Leonard Hoogenboom, the young Dutchman. And he's already set a brand new fastest lap, 1 minute 27.348. That's quicker than the pole position lap set in qualifying. So he is absolutely flying. Maybe they have set their car up purely for dry conditions. Understeer is killing him, he says. And you can see right behind Leonard Hoogenboom charging up behind him and just goes straight by. And that may well have been Jens Petersen's problem early on. DKR, knowing the weather would dry, gambling that the weather would dry totally, set the car up for these conditions. And Leonard Hoogenboom is now reaping the benefits. Hoogenboom all over the back of Colin Noble. And Noble clearly not with the quicker car, now has to be super clean in defence. Hoogenboom's going to struggle to go the long way round the outside. Last lap of the race, and behind the 2nd placed GT3 Kessel Racing Ferrari is the leader, Colin Noble, and the 2nd place car, Leonard Hoogenboom. Noble on the inside of the Ferrari, boxes in Hoogenboom. Doesn't get a great exit though. Here comes the DKR Engineering car. It's got much better traction. That's as a result perhaps of not being set up partially soft for the wet at the beginning. And Hoogenboom having a long look down the inside. There's contact. He rubs his way through. More contact. And Colin Noble in the gravel. Leonard Hoogenboom has elbowed him out of the way. We'll take a look again. Hoogenboom with speed gets alongside. There's just about enough racing room, but Hoogenboom can't get himself out of the hole he's dug and just keeps nudging away. Well, DKR are happy with that. Jens Petersen sees his teammate go through. I don't think Acuria Cost will see it quite the same way, and maybe the stewards won't either. Leonard Hoogenboom, desperate last lap lunge. He got through. And after 73 laps of the Red Bull Ring, the checkered flag is out. It is win number 3 of the season for Leonard Hoogenboom and Jens Petersen with DKR Engineering. Well, they are delighted. A 3rd win for DKR, a 2nd podium for Colin Noble and Alistair McCaig, and a 1st for Marc-Antoine Danielou and Adrian Keeler and the number of DKR Engineering.
Our decision was to go for a fully dry setup because we thought it would dry after the driver change. I decided not to take too many risks because we were thinking about the championship, and main goal was to bring the car home in one piece. And then he had a perfect car, I think, and he pushed a lot.
The DKR crew joined by the 40 Graf team and a fairly unhappy Acuria Cost Nielsen duo. But DKR enjoying their moment in the sunshine as they claim victory in the Red Bull Ring. Our top 3 in the race, also our top 3 in the title race. DKR now with a 46.5 point advantage.